We've all been there. You send a message, check your phone every 5 minutes, and nothing. No reply. Frustrating, right? What most guys don't realize is that the problem isn't her silence it's the type of message you resending. While most people go with boring lines that kill curiosity, there are simple but strategic texts that spark instant interest and practically demand a response. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you here. Proven messages that actually work. 1. The power of curiosity and scarcity. Most guys mess up on the first text because they think they need to be ultra creative or come up with something mind-blowing. In reality, the secret is curiosity. If you spill everything right away, the conversation dies before it even starts. But if you leave something hanging, she feels the urge to ask more. It's like reading the first page of a book and having it suddenly close. You have to know what happens next. For example, instead of just sending, "Hey, what's up?" you could write, "You look like someone with a lot of crazy stories." Am I right? That kind of opener makes her want to prove you wrong or prove you right. Either way, she's already hooked. This is the principle of scarcity. Give a little, make her want a lot more. And when it's done right, it works like magic. The best part is, it's not about manipulation. It's about creating space for her to invest in the conversation too. If you say too much, she has nothing to add. But when you leave gaps, she naturally fills them with questions, thoughts, and stories. It's the same trick movies use with cliffhangers. They keep you thinking about it the next day. 2. Cold reads and personalized observations. One of the most powerful ways to grab her attention is by showing that you actually paying attention. That's what cold reading is, picking up on details and turning them into creative comments. For example, if her photo is at a coffee shop, don't just say "nice pic." Try, "You look like the type who can't survive mornings without strong coffee." That instantly stands out. And the funny thing, even if you're wrong, you still win. If she says, "Actually, I'm more of a tea person," you've just opened the door to keep the conversation flowing. Ah, so you're on the calm team, not the hyper one. See? You keep the vibe alive without forcing it. It shows creativity and effort, instead of sounding like a copy-paste line. What makes this so powerful is the exclusivity factor. When you comment on something unique to her, she feels seen, not just another profile in the crowd. That creates the sense of a one-of-a-kind chat. Even in a sea of endless DMs, it's like turning a casual app conversation into something that feels face-to-face, deep, and personal.
As
If there's one ingredient every great conversation needs, it's humor. Not the comedian on stage kind, but that little spark that breaks the ice and makes things flow naturally. Laughter brings people closer, eases tension, and builds instant chemistry. Think about it. Nobody remembers boring small talk, but everyone remembers who made them laugh. The easiest way? Play with everyday situations. If she says she's stuck in traffic, you could reply, "Hope you're not texting and driving right now," or "Should I call a tow truck already?" It's light, funny, and keeps the vibe alive. Humor is like seasoning. You don't need a ton, but just the right touch changes the whole flavor of the chat. Humor also gives off confidence. Someone who can laugh at themselves and drop a playful comment at the right moment instantly feels more relaxed and attractive. It creates that good energy atmosphere where conversations flow without effort. And guess what? That's exactly the vibe that makes people want to keep talking and eventually meet up in real life. 4. Building subtle sexual tension. Here's where most guys crash and burn. They confuse creating chemistry with being dirty. Real sexual tension isn't about saying explicit things. It's about playful hints that make her imagination do the work. The key is suggestion, not oversharing. Think sparks, not fireworks. For example, if she says she loves cooking, you could tease. So I guess you're making dinner on our first date. Just promise it's not instant noodles. See how that works? It's funny, a little flirty. And it plants the idea of meeting up without being pushy. That's what subtle tension looks like. Light, natural, and effective. The trick is rhythm. If you turn every message into a flirty hint, it loses its charm. Tension is like music. It needs pauses, drops, and changes in tempo to hit harder. When you balance playful teasing with normal conversation, she'll feel butterflies and look forward to what's coming next. 5. The perfect date technique. One of the best tricks in conversation is using her imagination to your advantage. The perfect date technique does exactly that. You describe a fun, simple, and engaging scenario, and let her picture herself there with you. It's not a direct invite, but it's a mental one. Say the conversation's going well. You might drop. Just imagine us laughing over fries at some random bar, arguing about which is better, pizza or burgers. That little scene is playful, easy to picture, and full of good vibes. She can see herself in that moment with you, and that's where the magic happens. This works because emotions stick. When she imagines it, she starts to connect those positive feelings with you. But since you're not directly inviting her, there's no pressure. It's just a fun what if tossed into the mix. And often, that's enough to turn an online chat into a real-life plan. 6. The trap of letting the conversation cool off here. It's a big mistake. Thinking that one good text is enough to keep the connection alive. The conversation is like fire. If you don't feed it, it goes out. If you go silent for too long, the energy dies. It's like playing music at a party and suddenly cutting it off. The vibe disappears and it's hard to bring back. I'm not saying you should reply in seconds or be glued to your phone, but if the conversation's flowing, don't disappear for 2 days. That kills the emotional momentum you had going. A quick check-in or a playful follow-up can keep things alive without being overbearing. Think of it like tennis. If you keep the ball on your side too long, the other person gets bored and walks off the court. Same thing with texting. She wants to feel like there's a back and forth, not a one-sided effort. So avoid long dead spots if you want the spark to keep growing. 7. Keeping the flow with short messages. Good conversations aren't built on giant paragraphs. Most of the time, short, sharp texts do the heavy lifting. Simple "just saw something that reminded me of you" can spark curiosity instantly. These little drops of attention keep the energy going without overwhelming her. It's like watering a plant. You don't flood it, you give it just enough. You can also throw in unexpected touches during the day. A funny meme, a random photo, or even "still can't believe you said burgers are better than pizza." That shows you're paying attention and keeps the fun rolling. These little nudges build continuity, and continuity builds connection. The psychology behind it is powerful. Short texts remove the pressure of a big response. When replying feels easy, she's more likely to keep engaging. And the more effortless it feels, the more natural the bond becomes. That's how short, playful messages keep the fire alive. 8. Empathy, depth, and being natural with all these tricks. Don't forget the foundation, being genuine. Empathy is what turns a chat into something unforgettable. Really listening, putting yourself in her shoes, and replying in a human way builds trust and connection.
Nice.
I'm Simon with a bit of that. And then time right it out prayer to sup. You can practice this by opening up a bit yourself. If she tells you she had a rough day, instead of just saying "that sucks," share something similar you've been through and how you handled it. That kind of exchange creates depth and relatability. It says, "I get it, I've been there too." And that emotional mirror brings people closer. But above all, be yourself. Don't pretend to be someone you're not. It always shows eventually. Balance, humor, lightness, and honesty.
No.
People can sense authenticity, and it's magnetic. At the end of the day, everyone's looking for someone they can laugh with, be real with, and not feel like they're acting around. Conclusion. Now that you know these proven texts that actually work, the choice is yours. Will you keep sending those dead-end hey messages, or start using lines that spark curiosity and real connection? The difference between being left on read and having conversations that flow comes down to how you text. So put these into practice today and watch the results. And of course, if you want more tricks like these, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning.